sharing his thought on the Manna days for January 15 for a moment. Presentation.
Brother John, you have to acknowledge who has hands up.
Okay.
Questions yet, but I'm going to link your comments to something I would have said if I wanted to ask a question before. And this is really a very short answer to think about it. And you made the point that we're all sinners. And I think that's a scriptural concept. There's none righteous, no, not one. I want to ask you a question about justice, mercy, and so on. But here's the question. In the previous presentation by the brethren in the panel, they spoke about if you see your brother doing something and looking under the robe. And there were a number of comments that were made as to what you should do. So I'm going to ask this question. Would it be preferable for us to have an attitude that our brother did nothing wrong and ask, is everything all right? And I'll give you a scenario. I've used it several times. There's a brother who's an elder of a class many years ago. He stopped at a bar before he went to meeting, and somebody saw him. And that individual went to the class and said, "Oh, our elder, I saw him coming out of a bar." Had he asked the elder, "Is everything all right?" the elder might have said, "Oh, my brother, I had to use the restroom before going to meeting, and I did not want to soil myself." So is it better to assume that your brother is doing something right and that you don't have to judge him? Or is it better to ask the question out of concern? It's a long question. It's either a yes or a no.
If you see your brother in a wrong position, the best thing to have is to call his attention.
But if I saw my brother coming out of the bar, if I had assumed that he was in the wrong position, I'm making a judgment because he went there to relieve himself. My question is, since I'm fallen, if I assume that my brother has done the wrong thing, am I not guilty of judging him rather than being concerned? Are you all right, brother? Because I should assume that my brother coming out of the bar, something was wrong with him, instead of, oh, my brother is drinking. The right thing or not? Yes or no? That's all I want.
I can't.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Yes or no?
No.
My question is, what can we do to help guard our tongue from speaking evil against each other? What can we do to help guard our tongue from speaking evil against each other?
So what we can do is to use the scriptures to advise those who practice that thing, speaking evil or other things. Tell them, this is the scripture, this is what you do. Maybe they don't know it's an evil thing, but speaking evil, maybe they don't know. Because anyone who's a Muslim will never go speak evil or say anything which is wrong. So I think it's better to use the scriptures to advise that person to teach him what is the right thing to do. Thank you.
I wanted to make a simple comment against that question. In brief, what can we do to help ourselves from evil state? Number one, following our Master's rule in Matthew 18, verse 17. Go to the brother or the sister, whether he's coming from a bar, ask him, talk with him. That's your right and it's good. You're out of justice and out of love that you find out from the brother what he's doing, or what he has done, or what is his thoughts, so that helps you. But the Master helped us by giving us that whole procedure. Matthew 18, verse 15 to 18, speaking a matter in a court is not evil speaking, because you are the church and the Lord gave us that right and procedure to speak every kind of evil if the matter is under consideration by the church. Second, the Lord inspired Apostle Paul, and Apostle Paul helped us, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 8. Controlling the handles of our thinking. We can have several questions when thoughts are being presented in your mind. And that's where if you can control your thoughts, control what comes into your heart, then it's easier for you to speak those things which are good. Is the thought true? Is the matter true? Is there truth in that matter you are thinking about? Because before you speak, the matter has been already under consideration or under analysis in your mind, in your heart. So the mouth speaks what is already inside. So the mouth is the engine. But you can have several questions according to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 8. Is it just? Is it lovable? Is it of good report? Does it add value to you? Even if something is true, is just, the brother was doing something or something was there, does it add value to you? Or you wasting your own time? Is it of value to the brother or the sister? That's also very, very important. Possibly those two areas will be very helpful. But again, volume 6, order history of the new creation. The 70th angel helped us and guided or advised us in detail about what we were speaking, he was summarizing those areas of unruly brethren, those who are of habits of introducing new doctrines, what to do about it. So volume 6, order and discipline of the new creation. Thank you.
About loving our neighbors as we love ourselves. So a question came to me that I have 2 neighbors now next to me. Is it possible that I can love them with the same love?
General 15, Manna, comment about this. Let me read. All these translation of things, all is one word, love. You have love for, if you have love for everybody. The love that you have for another neighbor, you can have the same love for the other neighbor. There's no difference. So you can love both of them, simply. Thank you.
Your comment. One question. If we know that we have bitterness in our heart before we speak, what should we do?
The heart, within our body, no one will know that you have bitterness. But it's up to you, the person who has bitterness, to go to the throne of grace, go to the kneel down and pray to God to remove that bitterness, so that you all see, you can all live in peace.